Hello, hello, hello. I don't see anyone in the chat. I don't see a chat. I wonder if something's gone wrong. Oh, I see people in the chat. Okay, I still haven't got a chat, but I can see that there are people there. Oh, there's the chat. Hello, everybody. Hello, Catherine and Dawn and Mariellen. Hi, Trisha. Hi, hi, hi. Good to know that you're there. So, I managed to do a couple of things wrong already. I've left my glasses at home, so it's difficult for me to read the chat. And I've left my microphone lead, so I'm working off the phone mic. So I haven't done very well today. But thankfully, there's not much wind, and we're in a beautiful, hi Gary, we're in a beautiful part of Amsterdam, the Western Islands, and they're pretty sheltered. Hey Emily and Carol. They're pretty sheltered, so I don't think we're going to have a problem with the mic. So, me, and this is where we are. I love this part of Amsterdam because it's so tucked away. Madeline, welcome. And Madeline, know that, yeah, sorry, I must be careful to make sure I'm talking, pointing at the phone. I know you like following the streets, and I realize they don't have the street name on this corner, but I will pick one out for you soon. So anyway, there's the Three Herring Bridge. We'll go over that in just a moment, and we'll just take a lovely wander around the hey Ronnie, hi, the Western Islands, covering a bit of ground. I love the way that the trees are still kind of summery, no, not autumnal yet. Isn't that a nice view with those warehouses kind of peeking out from through the greenery? Lovely. This road is called the Nieuwe Tiertuinen, which are the new tea gardens. Hey Diane, hi. So as I said, I've left my spectacles at home, so it's difficult for me to read the chat. And then to read the chat, I've got to hold the phone very far away from me, and then I'm further away from the mic. So how's about that for a catch-22? There's sunflowers there. I actually noticed that my neighbor's sunflowers are just coming out. Okay, so here is the name of the street, Madeline, if you want to look it up on a map where I am. The Nieuwe Tiertuinen, which means the new tar gardens, because this part of Amsterdam was very much a sort of a warehousing and an industrial part of town. And tar was a very, very important product, obviously, because they needed it to waterproof ships and that type of thing. And just warehouses, warehouses, warehouses. Let's see if we can catch a glimpse of this drawbridge here from between these boats. I think we should be able to. Very nice too. Okay. I've actually got a friend staying in one of these who I haven't seen for years. You know when it's been too long that you can't actually say hi anymore because too much time has passed. And look at this, excuse me, very croaky. There's an old school building here. Or maybe it's even still a school building, I don't know. But it's really got that school look, hasn't it? Doug! My friend Doug is here. Nice to see you, Doug. So we're in the Western Islands and just moseying around. Doug, I hope the weather is as good for you where you are as it is for me where I am. So here you see the railway lines that actually cut off these islands from Amsterdam. The railway line that was put in there in the late 1800s. And that caused these islands, one of the reasons that these islands got a little bit forgotten. And the reason that they're here at all is because this was part of the open area called the A. And what happened with the A is that it started silting up, and I'm talking back in the 1600s now. So instead of letting it silt up, what they did is they created islands by packaging the silk into sort of islands, I guess, and with waterways in between. So that's why these were made in the first place. Incidentally, down there was Breitner's studio once upon a time. But anyway, back to the pretty drawbridge. And just let this person come over on their bike. There we go, with these really wonderful warehouses just catching the evening sun. So it's just gone 7 p.m. I don't know what the temperature is exactly. I think it's about 60 degrees in Fahrenheit, about 16 centigrade, so nothing to complain about there. Lovely, eh? Our schools look much nicer. Good. I've also, oddly enough, got a friend who lives in one of these, right at the top. And it's just as you would imagine. It's wonderful with all the diagonal beams and that type of thing. So most of you know, I'm sure, but just for anyone new, these casual Amsterdam walks are exactly that. They're just casual, not too much info, just looking around and enjoying the views. And you can find in my previous recordings, and every now and again coming up, a detailed Amsterdam one, where we go into obsessive detail about every building and find interesting little quirks and old photos and bits of video. And these are the ones I do when I've been so busy during the week that I haven't had time to prepare a detailed Amsterdam one, but they will come. They will come back in the winter, well, in the fall and the winter when I have more time. Oh wow, look how wide this is, this warehouse here. The trapezium gable up there. And you're all writing that down frantically. Don't worry, there's no quiz in this one. So, oh look, here's, oh look, there's a cat playing. Oh, this cat was just leaping around. Psst, psst, psst. Meow. Oh, cat's not interested. I say playing, it's probably murdering a butterfly or something. Oh, there's a lovely night tonight, isn't there? Just great. So what have we got? The Golden Head, the Gouden Kop here, Broek en Waterland, Broek en Waterland, which is a lovely town just north of Amsterdam, and Mars. I'm not sure why we have Mars actually, but hey, we have Mars. And here's one of the most precious things in Amsterdam, parking. Amazing that it's not a building. Hello Hillary and Liz. And lots of little corners and green corners and parks on these islands. Like this one. I'm not going to disturb the people there who are enjoying the evening, so we'll head along this way. So this island is called Prinseneiland, and it used to be called Middeneiland until about 1645, if I remember correctly. And it was called Prinseneiland because it was named after the princes of Orange. And all those years ago, Meanwhile, this is the really pretty drawbridge we saw from slightly further away where we started. Probably, I wouldn't be surprised if this was the narrowest bridge in Amsterdam. It's always difficult to know which is the narrowest one, you know, without going with the tape measure. But I don't think it gets much narrower than this. Great big cantilever weight up here. And the beautiful, I remember this beautiful house just behind it. I always thought that would make such a nice house for me. Oh, aye, aye, aye. So yeah, this is the Drie Haringbrug, the Three Herring Bridge. And let's just give you a view down this way to yet another bridge in the distance with the name here. I'll show you this one. It's in beautiful condition. It's obviously just been renovated, or restored rather. Drie Haringbrug. Hey Doug, I'm sure I've got a picture of me and Christina on this bridge. So we must have been here. Okay, there's a view down here. Because that bridge doesn't look quite so nice with the modern building behind it. Years ago, the last time it really froze so that we could skate everywhere. This was all frozen solid here, and I was skating all around these islands on the waterways. It was lovely, lovely, lovely. But yeah, that's many years ago. The last time that we could really skate was I think it was the year after COVID, just when Hago started. And that's the last time we could skate on canals. Right, so that's where I started, just up there. Around this lovely house here that I like so much, and just above the door here is a decoration, of course, of three herrings, because it's the Three Herring Bridge. Zoom in. I hate herring, but I don't mind the bridge. Or the house. Okay. It would be funny, wouldn't it? Me having to live in a three herring house. Me who hates herring so much. Yeah, it's great here. It's so tucked away. So anyway, as I was saying, it was kind of cut off by the railway line. And then what happened is, it was very much a warehousing area, shipbuilding, or repairs rather, and bits of industry. But then the harbours moved to the west. Yeah, Amsterdam needed bigger, deeper harbours, and that all moved westwards, especially with the opening up of the North Sea Canal. So what happened here, it probably silted up a bit. It wasn't needed as a commercial harbour, and it became an area that was a little bit run down. A lot of squatters moved in and squatted in the sort of the low-slung hangar type warehousing that they had all over the place. And it was very vibrant, you know, a lot of kind of traveller type trailers and caravans on the quaysides, and a lot of old boats. So yeah, really brilliant, just the kind of thing that I love about Amsterdam. And a bunch of gardens and parks around here, like this one. Now, there are actually hundreds, or at least 150, if not hundreds, of interesting types of plants here. And the reason for such a big biodiversity is because this is where ships used to come and dock after having been to Asia, around Africa, maybe even South America. And when they were unloading, all sorts of seeds and things like that just happened to unload with them and take root here. So it's a very, very interesting part of Amsterdam for that reason. Let's see. Lots of nice little benches for just oh, there's a friend of mine lives on this boat as well, actually. So I have seen more recently. She owns this one here. It's called a sea chalk. So a chalk, a type of traditional Dutch flat bottom barge, but that one's a big one. It was always intended for going to the sea as opposed to the inland waterways. You see the blackbird in front. Nice little archway. You know, there's not very many flowers now, but obviously in the summer they're lovely flowers, and they always have nice tulips. I remember always seeing the tulips from the shore. Not from the shore, from when I'm on the water, going by when I used to work on boats. Right. Up, quicken up the pace. Oops. So there's actually still one slipway on the island. It's behind these buildings here, although you'd never say. And it's where the big old, some of the big old canal boats, not old, the big canal boats, like the regular ones, get taken out the water to be worked upon. And you see it's decoration outside. They've got some of the big mooring, things for the mooring ropes to go on. So yeah, a little bit of that industry still left in what is really just a residential place now. So when it was squatted in the 70s and the 80s, it was very artsy. Had been for some time, I suppose. I mean, given that Breitner had a studio here. But, you know, still there's a lot of studios, and they have sort of open studio days on the island. On the islands. Because actually we're on a new one now. This one used to be called the Achtereiland, which means the after or behind island. And then I think in the mid-1600s it was called Realeneiland, after a rich merchant who took the name Real, which was a kind of gold coin. Not particularly nice buildings opposite, much newer architecture, but lovely because of the contrast with the trees and the old barges. Check out this one here. Really big houseboat there. I'm not very good with naming those boats. I think it's a Spitz. I might be wrong, but I think it's a Spitz. And they make particularly good houseboats because they're so big and the sides go straight down. So you get a very usable space. Now, I'm not sure how much I've spoken about houseboats. I'm not too keen on living on boats. I did it years ago in the 90s on an old fishing ship with no heating. And the fishing boat used to have hey look, there's my shadow. Used to have icicles hanging off its stern in the winters. That's when we still got winters here. Yeah, so not too keen on that. However, sorry if there's wind on the mic, because I forgot my cable. So I'm not using the plugged-in mic with the wind cap on it. But if you forced me to live on a boat in Amsterdam, she said I absolutely had to, and you could wave a magic wand, and I could choose which one it was going to be. I strongly suspect it might be this one here. Which I've always found just so kind of romantically charming with its shape. What a great view of the bridge. It's getting a bit windy here. Splish splosh, you know what's happened here. How much do boats cost? Well, Laurie, there's two elements. There's the boat and there's the mooring place. And both of those things can be quite valuable, although usually the boat is a bit less than the mooring place. I have no idea what this is. That's quite a big mooring place. It's a big boat. It's a beautiful boat. I mean, It wouldn't surprise me if that was going for, I would just take a wild guess at about 1.5 million or something. I might be wrong, but that's where I would guess it. Yeah, the Magere Brug, the skinny bridge, is not actually that skinny. It used to be years ago, but it's on its 4th version now, so it's not that skinny. And as you can see, this one actually big enough for cars. So really the skinniest one today was certainly the Three Herring Bridge. So great little spot here. It's very sheltered because we got the Western Docks Dyke coming up just ahead, which was built to stop the hey Tony, hello, to stop the waves from the Eye, from the big body of water. So that's the estuary above Amsterdam. So that's what those buildings across the way there are on the Western Docks Dyke. And this is a very famous little spot here. It's called the Zandhoek, which means sand corner. Actually, this is where sand was unloaded. It was a huge import product. And there's a cafe here, and it's called Gouden Real, the Golden Real. A reference as well to the family or the merchant who actually owned the island. And these were traditionally captain's houses. One of them is a KLM house as well. So the captains would be looking out over the open water from here, because that was before they built the Western Docks Dyke. Beautiful, eh? Very charming. And then there's a little gap, and we got some more. How have we been going? 22 minutes. Hey, look, I see some red flowers. What red flowers would we have now? Let's have a closer look. What are these? Are they sort of little mini roses of some sort? They're tiny. I mean, look how tiny these are. That's the size of my finger. Oh yeah. Ow! They have thorns. Yeah, the very clean windows. They have to be clean windows here. Otherwise the neighbours may go tut-tut. And we wouldn't want neighbours going tut-tut in the Netherlands. They're roses, but they're tiny. Well, they're miniature roses then. Oh, and actually you get quite a nice view of our sort of little mini flat iron building. Of course you can't really see that from the side, but it's the same wedge shape as the flat iron building, and you can see right through there. Look, I see that the people who own those spaces don't seem to have done a hell of a lot with them. You know, people tut-tutting reminds me, I used to live in a village, a hamlet in West Sussex, and in that hamlet was a lovely chap. He used to be in the, how do you say it? The diplomatic corps. He was an ambassador somewhere or something like that. Well, he'd retired. And I remember once we were chatting about something, and about why he didn't do something, or one wouldn't do something, and he looked at me and he said, as if, of course you couldn't do it, because, and his words were, people may point. And I just found that so wonderfully, in a sort of restrained English way of self-censorship, the horror that people may point. Okay, so that's why one wouldn't do something. Love it. is Zandhoek. I do remember his name, but I'm not going to say. So, you know, I wouldn't do that. I believe in privacy and I'm discreet, you see. Oh look, another drawbridge. So these really are the islands of the little cute drawbridges. Definitely worth a wander around if you're visiting Amsterdam. There are not many cafes or anything. I mean, there's the Realeneiland, but you kind of want to bring your own bottle of wine, really, and hole up somewhere. Oh, let's see how this handles direct sun. That discreet. That's pretty, isn't it? And let's get an... Actually, I don't think it'll be a particularly good view of the drawbridge because the sun's the other side, but we'll give it a go. Oh, the light, I love this. We're on the golden hour now, as opposed to the blue hour that we all love so much. But oh, the golden hour has its charms as well. I can hear seagulls. I realized during COVID, walking around the empty city, that the sound of Amsterdam's sort of resting sound is the sound of seagulls. Isn't that nice, that line of modern buildings with the trees in front and then the old barges as well? And here is the Montessori school, because the Montessori type stuff and the Waldorf type of education is very popular with Amsterdam. We're a bunch of old hippies here, you know. Right, so this is now another island. We're on Bickerseiland, or Bickerseiland. The Bickers were a very wealthy family, often mayors of Amsterdam. If I remember correctly, this is how we get through. I hope I don't happen upon... No, I can't get through there. This is obviously not the way. Maybe it's the next... Oh, here we get through, yeah. It's so deserted. Oh, I want to try this thing. Oh, I love it. Nothing like a good swing. Okay, where to get through here? No, that kind of leads into somebody's informal garden. And here's a bit of a skateboarding ramp. Oh good, the garden's still open. I just got to be careful I don't film anyone because people hate that, understandably. Looks like a dead end. It says, do not push the button. Okay, do not push the button. I wonder what will happen if I push the button. One can't help wondering. And actually years ago, not so many years ago, we all used to swim here. And I guess they wanted to stop people swimming because maybe it's not deep enough. So they put this garden in front to physically stop people swimming. I am not going to push the button. Maybe it'll start World War III. Oh look, there's a little bird island over there. I remember that from before. There were swans on it. And now there's a coot. Oh, prevented. Yeah, prevented by pushing a red button. That should work. We still have flowers. There are nice little tucked away places here. Yeah, these are public places, by the way. I mean, obviously cared for by the neighborhood, but anyone can come here. And pampas grass on the right. Okay. And bum 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 dum dum. Just so you know where we are, if you ever want to find us again, here's the info. It's in Dutch, but you can Google it. Buurttuin, so neighborhood garden, the Bickersgracht, the Bickers canal. Okay. And there is a little petting zoo here. Have they got any animal? There's a duck. I spot 2 ducks. There's... No, that's a log. Okay. Oh, we've got some bunnies. It's like a calico bunny. Okay, well they normally have like pigs and goats and stuff like that. Green, huh? Let's see. This is very much a kid's playground. Toys strewn all over the place. But just what the perfect kids' playground that is, huh? The goats went on holiday. Somebody's got my goat. So there you go, tucked away playground on a rather ominously named bridge. This is Schalkenbrug, which is Gallows Bridge, because looking that way, there used to be views all the way across the big water called the A to the northern side, and you could see the gallows from here, which is why it was called Gallow Bridge, all the way through there. So, if I remember correctly, I might be wrong, I think it was a coffee warehousing or a coffee company or something. Oh, it's for sale. Let's buy it. Let's start a crowdfunding campaign. Elegant working and living space. Oh, I could do with an elegant working and living space. And here's a bit of a mural here, something to do with Nelson Mandela, if I remember correctly. Because he used to have a little garden, a vegetable garden, when he was incarcerated in Pollsmoor prison. It says Pollsmoor there. And we got tomatoes and lettuce or chard, sunflowers, corn, beautiful. So we're back on Prinseneiland now, Prinseneiland, which had the greatest density of warehousing way back in the 1700s. And this is Tierton, which means tar barrel. Korenschuur. Oh, look at the orange cat. The cat's, the orange cat is ignoring me, but it would, wouldn't it? And there's a lovely, unusual garden here, full of different palms. Oh, look, and the buckfeets. One of these, I think I mentioned it the last time, that's on... This is how I would move house in the early 90s in Amsterdam, take all my possessions in a buckfiets, cycle it through the city. So, hopefully I won't disturb anyone here. Not what you'd really expect to find in Amsterdam, a sort of tropical garden. Oh, there are people there. Some guys there. Oh, look at this one. I remember this. It's such an unusual tree. Oi. Oi. How great is that? And these are the barges I used to work on here years ago. Seems so incongruous with Amsterdam warehouses with palm trees in front of them. Okay, as I said, I've forgotten my spectacles, so it's difficult to read, but Walpurgi, that's obviously the name of the interesting palm, yeah? These are nice as well. Everything's nice here. Isn't it special? gate opens inwards. Okay. So how do you find this again? Well, there's no name on it. So you're just going to have to ask me when you come to Amsterdam. And these actually look amazing from the quayside. They're beautiful houses with a little seating area and a mooring space in front of them, right on the water. Very boring from this side though. I can't believe we still have hollyhocks. Nice variegated one. Look at this vibrant color here. Wow. Huh. Amazing. Lovely neo house here, neo Renaissance. Really catching the beautiful evening light. Oh, look at the sky behind it. Pretty. Huh. Huh. So, love this van here. Check it out. Hey, we've got some buddleia. Hello. Nice blue shutters against the blue sky, huh? I just love these warehouses. They are the best. Check that out. And we saw it from a distance before, but Brightness Studio on the left here in the corner. Someone's garden. And here we are, quite close to where we started. So, thank you so much for joining, everybody. Hey, if you could like this video, that would be great. And if you could leave a comment under it, that would be also great. I'm told, and everyone seems to think that is very helpful for the great YouTube algorithm. Oh, one last look at these beautiful red shuttered warehouses on Galgenstraat, Gallows Street. And a little bit of street art here. Okay. So yeah, thank you for joining. And yeah, I had quite a nice walk today. I was wondering the whole day where I should go. And then eventually I thought, well, you know, it's quite a nice still evening. So why not dip our toe back into this part of town? Okay, everybody. Many, many thanks. Actually, I want to get a really nice place closing shot without this building in the foreground. That's nice actually with the word on the L on the warehouses, because vrede means peace. So it's quite a nice word to end with. Great. And there we are. Okay. Bye bye everybody. See you next week.